Probably the worst home performance Scarborough have put in this season. 1 defeat in 6 away, though, since facing Worksop. And a reminder, they've only lost 3 in a row once this season. If it was to go wrong tonight, it'll be a second time. Let me give you the 11 for Scarborough Athletic, as Whitley is in goal. There are 3 changes to the team, and all of them are attacking personnel coming in. I can tell you that Walker, Green and Allen all start tonight. And it's the first time that they all start together this season. Whitley in goal, Willedgie, Hull, Thornton and Brown at the back 4. Michael Duckworth out injured with that groin issue, and Waldron dropped to the bench. In midfield, it's Alex Perver, Lewis Maloney and Dom Tier. And the trio, as I mentioned, in Rio Allen, Stephen Walker and Harry Green as the attacking force. On the bench, there's 4 players, no new signings or no new returnees. Luca Colville is expected to be back on Saturday rather than tonight. So Richie Bennett, Alex Walpole, Leon Gibson-Booth, and also on the bench is Jack Waldron, as I mentioned earlier. So we are ready to get things underway. We're flying solo tonight. It's just myself, James Fletcher. Keep me company. Text messages 81333 and also on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Start your messages with the word York and I will read them out as we go along tonight. Scarborough in red, kicking towards myself behind one of the goals this evening. A rather unorthodox commentary position, a seated stand 4 rows high, covered, and I'm just to the right of Mark Halstead's post, who remains in the side after 4 changes to the Radcliffe team that was beaten 5-1 against Buxton. I can tell you Brad Roscoe, Dan Gardner, Rick Smith, Callum McFadzean, John Taylor are a working 5 defence. George Glendon and Cian Scales, Michael Afuye, David Ball and Jordan Hume complete the 11 for Radcliffe, whilst on their bench Matthias Hult, Brad Jackson, Ollie Thornley, Anthony Dudley, Tyler James, Rio Clegg their top scorer, and the former Sea Dog in Danny Greenfield. A minute gone, Radcliffe on the move, down the left-hand side with Hume trying to get into the area, just lost his balance as Hull just nudged him. Then Maloney goes over on the edge of the penalty area, his own penalty area I might add, and gets a free kick. Our referee tonight is Kevin Hearn in all black. He's refereed once Scarborough Athletic. It was the Boxing Day encounter against Darlington, as Whitley picks the ball up in his purple kit, and he looks like he's going to send this one towards the right hand touchline, close to Jonathan Greeding's technical area, with the red bobble hat luminous from our position here, as Rick Smith heads the ball away from 30 yards from his own goal, and Scarborough try and get a hand in midfield but broken up, and away come Radcliffe up towards Hume, and they've held it up nicely going from left to right. A little slide tackle comes in from Alex Brown to try and shepherd the ball away. Radcliffe keep the ball moving, and Green can't get there, down in the left back position. Brown trying to hassle Afuye, but he's run out of road and the ball goes out of play for a goal kick. First forage forward then really for Radcliffe, as a few Scarborough fans are making their way in, and they will be alongside me and will hope to make a little bit of noise. Not much in the way of visiting fans, but a few of them making their way in now. Maybe the M62 traffic jams have worked their devilry once again. 2.5 minutes played, Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 0. Keep you up to date as well with the scores elsewhere, as Radcliffe win the ball on halfway, hacked away by Thornton, and Smith collects at centre half for Radcliffe, tries to hit one diagonal, just hangs in the wind a bit, and Brown nods it back calmly towards Ryan Whitley. Jonathan Greening flanked by Michael Ingham, who's back from the United States, having been on his recruitment drive as part of his full-time occupation. Long ball by Whitley, hits the shoulder of Walker 30 yards from goal, gathered by Maloney, pops up in the air after a touch from Hume, and Thornton moves it out towards Brown, tries to play it towards Afuye, who blocks the ball, and now Afuye will take charge in the right wing position, then played in field towards David Ball, the most experienced man back in his roots, former Manchester City man all those years again, nearly 2 decades ago, as Weleji now flights the ball down the middle, and again simple header away by Rick Smith. Weleji into Maloney, just prods at the ball as he tries to find Allen on the far side touchline from my commentary position, and Weleji, the right back, has the ball under his right hand. Weleji taking his time to take this throw in, and it'll be interesting to see how the 3 attacking players for Scarborough combine this evening. Mentioning in the build-up with Pete Spencer how they might look a bit one-dimensional as Walker tries to swing a ball in from the right back position. Tia heads the ball towards Green, who then tries to feed it towards Alex Brown, and it was behind the on-rushing left back who'd tried to commit to the left wing. Green drops in nicely and forces Radcliffe to play around the back as Roscoe, part of a back 3, will play towards Rick Smith, and Smith with a long ball forward. Perver, he's going to try and just prize the ball back towards Ryan Whitley, puts one arm up in the air of appreciation to the midfielder, and will pick the ball up. 5 minutes gone here on BBC Radio York. Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 0. Long ball by Ryan Whitley, cushioned by Taylor though for Radcliffe, just outside his own penalty area. McFadzean gives the ball a boot, and it's going to sail out of play for a throw-in over on the far side, and Hull will throw the ball down the line towards Weleji, but not to take it, as Weleji will look maybe for the short option of Maloney, who is trying to push off Kean Scales on loan from Scunthorpe United. Ball lands in the area, and a chance here perhaps for Scarborough Athletic. Shot through traffic by Walker, and they got a couple in the way, those in blue and yellow stripes, and were able to defend without Halstead getting his gloves dirty. Walker just twisted and turned on the right side of the box, but unable to test the man in green as Hull looks to try and play through towards Smith. Halstead, he will sting the ball through the night sky down the middle towards Hull. Weleji will collect at right back to Whitley. His kick out is doesn't carry much height or distance, because it was blocked on that occasion by George Glendon, who looked like he got impeded in the air, but play on, says the referee. Brown will play to Green. Green past halfway in the all-red strip, plays to Maloney. Maloney now looking to float to the right-hand side. Weleji demanding, so to Rio Allen. And now Dom Tia will look to play to Brown down the line for Walker. Tia's going to take up a striker's position. Neat ball by Walker to Brown. Tries to play the ball low, and it's out for a corner kick. First set piece of the night for Scarborough Athletic, and the pitch already clearly showing that there's more opportunity to run the ball around. First corner of the night for Scarborough Athletic. Could see Walker coming towards the front post, right in front of us. Rio Allen on the goal line. Thornton and Hull, they're queuing at the back stick as Tier and Weleji make their runs. It's angled towards the front post. Halstead went up for it and nearly dropping towards the back post and into the back of the net, but swept away partially by Radcliffe. Good start this from the Sea Dogs. Green with a decent looking delivery. It hits Rio Allen's head, and then Roscoe will move the ball out, and Hull, good hassling on the right side of the penalty area, and it will be a throw-in. Can you tell at which end the Scarborough Athletic fans are tonight? To my left-hand side. Good couple of dozen of them have joined me behind the goal here. As Brown with the first long throw-in attempt. Good start here, bit of momentum from the Sea Dogs as it is chucked towards the front of the 6-yard box. Headed by Roscoe, but a bit of pushing and shoving according to the referee, Mr. Hearn, and that will be a free kick. Will Thornton had a word with him as he jogged past, and even as it was in front of us here, right in front of the penalty area, it was hard to spot a clear and obvious shove. As a free kick now goes Radcliffe's way up on halfway. Green bumping over Glendon, over on the far side of the field. We're listening to BBC Radio York as Scarborough Athletic face Radcliffe. If you're looking for Harrogate Town's home clash against Fleetwood in League 2, that's on DAB Digital Radio. A couple of early goals in the National League North elsewhere have already gone in. I can tell you Macclesfield lead 1-0 away at Peterborough Sports after 11 minutes. Darlington have just taken the lead away at Worksop. 0-0 here after 9 minutes as Rio Allen just manoeuvres the ball infield, tries to then play in Harry Green, and it just runs through harmlessly towards Roscoe. Roscoe dinking one forward. He just tried to get, on that occasion, Kean Scales into play, but Will Thornton hassled him, and the referee waves play on. He was very lenient on Boxing Day when he last refed against Darlington. Good block from Walker in the left-back position for Radcliffe. Good press, and Halstead sweeps the ball down the middle. Bit of curve from right to left. And Scarborough reclaim possession in their own defensive lines. 10 minutes played, 0-0 here on Radio York. And Whitley that time finding nobody up front in a red shirt. Halstead will just play the ball out short to Rick Smith. Smith got the second goal in the 3-0 win for Radcliffe on the stroke of half-time as well. A real sickener. Jonathan Greening testified with me after the game. Feels like Radcliffe are the ones under more pressure as Halstead tries to boom the ball towards a Fouye, and it's dropped out of play for a throw-in on the far side. It's Peterborough Sports 1, Macclesfield 1 now, by the way, in Cambridgeshire. A quick response from Phil Brown's side 4 minutes after Luke Duffy had put them in front from a penalty spot. Brown on halfway here will throw the ball infield. It's going to find Walker. Was he wrestled to the ground by Rick Smith? The answer is no. The fans alongside me certainly thought so. But Walker, for me, just looked like he was maybe trying to topple to the ground already, using the shape of his body to just drop down to the ground and buy a free kick. Cleared away by Halstead. And Radcliffe looked to play the conditions as Rio Allen dribbles the ball out of play for a throw-in over on the far side. And someone that we haven't really said so far is Callum McFadden, wearing 3. Former Wrexham crew, Kilmarnock amongst others. Can play left back or centre back, as Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley chop and change their systems this season. 4-3-3 in the reverse, 3-5-2 however in this, as McFadden for Radcliffe in their blue and yellow stripes. And Darren Foreman, last time we called Scarborough versus Radcliffe, he said it was the worst kit that he'd seen for a long time. Well, he's not alongside me tonight, so I feel like I can get away with saying, Darren, you're wrong, mate. Hope you're enjoying Cape Verde, and I hope it's a lot hotter over there than it is here in Greater Manchester. Thankfully, Storm Chandra has disappeared. There is still a little bit of gust in the air as the ball hasn't returned to play as yet. A couple of throw-ins here and there. Kidderminster lead 1-0 away at Bedford, as the ball will go back towards Halstead. Comes out of his area in his lime green kit. He's looking to boom it away on the right foot, and got a lot of swing to the ball. So he went out over onto that far side again and out for a throw-in. So first 12 and a half minutes, you could argue that Scarborough have had more attacking opportunity. Just maybe need to see the front three peel away from their markers. Waleji slicing the ball out of play over on the far side. Slicing the ball out of play for a throw-in. Taken long by Radcliffe. Aimed towards the middle. Hume with a good flick on, but cleared away by Scarborough. Radcliffe coming back. A Fouye in the right wing position. 2 over there in Harry Green and Alex Brown. And they force them back towards Roscoe. A Fouye blocked again by Brown, and they move it back into their midfield position as Glendon will look to try and find somebody in a blue shirt, and he's done that with a through ball towards Hume, trying to wriggle away from Brown. Both he and Glendon go sliding over. The ball's out of play for a goal kick down at the far end of the ground. For those who haven't been to Radcliffe yet, it is a very old school looking non-league ground. An open fenced side over on to my left with houses behind it. To my right, just a sort of tarpaulined roof with the clubhouse. Actually in the biggest stand behind the goal. It's only 4 rows high, and then there's a small terraced stand down the other end as well, which doesn't look very occupied at the moment, but with no segregation, I'm sure the Scarborough fans will make their way down there for the second half. They're alongside me in the first half as Thornton wrestles away with Glendon. Ball pops back on this occasion to Dan Gardner, the number 18. Radcliffe get a free kick just for a little nibble there at Afuye. Green picks the ball up and hands it to him. This is a chance for Radcliffe to whip one into the penalty area. 15 played, 0-0 here in Greater Manchester. Radcliffe not too far away from Bury, just up the road. And that was apparently one of the clubs Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley at some stage were linked with, but that never came to fruition. Gardner, hands on hips, wearing 18 with his white boots on the right side, 25 yards, one arm goes up in the air, players interspersed around the penalty area, delivered to the back post, it flies by Willeji and runs out for a throw in over on the far side in Scarborough's direction. So I think Radcliffe will be a little bit unhappy from their lack of connectivity in the first 15 minutes. Scarborough won't mind one bit. It's Willeji has the ball in hand, deep in his own half in the right back area. There's Walker, hold up play, managed to wriggle away that time from McFadden, then tries to clip it forward to Harry Green, who'd come from left wing to a striker's position and headed out by the Radcliffe defence. You don't need me to tell you who the Scarborough fans are trying to get Jonathan Greening's attention, but he can't hear them as he takes a sip of water. You can see his bright red bobble hat from here though. He was fairly honest in his assessment after the Kidderminster game that he just felt that the visitors that afternoon handled the game management side better, as Willeji looks to throw the ball over the head, that time of Taylor. Walker though, good hold up play from him, and Perver, the middleman, worked out towards Alex Brown, advancing into that left wing area, having a run here at Afuye, gets up to speed. Brown will look to now just move the ball inside, runs out of room. Gardner can't clear it away though. Green now looking to chop away from his marker, not once but twice. Afuye comes back, Brown does the same, a chance to cross, Green's is blocked. Maloney then 25 yards from goal, plays back to Brown. Brown with one touch swings it in low, cleared by Roscoe partially, and then Scales goes a bit more old school, tries to clear away, and Maloney will get Scarborough back in possession. Nice little chops and changes there from Brown and Green. Maloney now trying to play in Rio Allen, the wind nearly helped as well, but it's well defended by McFadden. Drops to Taylor on the edge of his own box, he will clear away, and the wind grabbing it and swinging the ball left side out for a throw-in over on the far side touchline from my position. 0-0, 17 minutes on the clock. Radcliffe coming into this game with just one win in 5 games, but they have played a lot of the heavyweights of the division, including AFC Fylde. Got a 3-3 draw here recently. Walker coming forward, chopping, changing, and maybe having a shot at goal. He gets into the area, does shoot, and Walker is back amongst the goals for Scarborough Athletic. He thought about shooting, changed his mind, took a step into the area, and left-footed sweeps it home into the bottom right-hand corner. Walker's back amongst the goals, and Scarborough lead by a goal to 0. Walker's looked lively from the minute 1, and Radcliffe just weren't able to deal with him. He moved it in from the right hand side, he looked up, saw no shooting angle, then saw Roscoe approaching him. He feinted in one side, then that classic chop to move it onto his left foot, and bang into the back of the net. And Scarborough lead then by 1 goal to 0 here at the Newven Stadium. Well, was just waiting for the Scarborough fans to enjoy the moment and sing along in the sound effects of my headphones here, but decided to stop at the wrong moment. How dare they? As Radcliffe will look to get things underway. 16th meeting between these two clubs, and that's the 51st goal. And there's a new goal scorer as well, as Walker into double figures then. Remember, Dom Tier last season got a hat-trick on the opening day, and that sparked a first half of the season flurry. Is Walker going to reignite? Everything was along the ground with that build-up play as well, as the ball flies out for a goal kick. Radcliffe just don't look like they've got going in the first 20 minutes. And Halstead has got a problem, the Radcliffe goalkeeper. The Scarborough fans saying it's just because you're losing, but I wonder if this is tactics from Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley to get some instructions over, as all the players make their way across from both sides to their respected technical areas. Halstead hasn't even looked like he's had a problem all 20 minutes. His kicking has been a little bit awry. The former Blackpool goalkeeper, he was at Widnes last season, and he's had one Premier League game before, and it was at Stamford Bridge when he was in goal for Blackpool against Chelsea. Went up against Didier Drogba that day. And Stephen Walker, former England youth man, bagging the goal this afternoon, or this evening I should say, depending on where you're listening in the world. Here on BBC Radio York on FM and via BBC Sounds. Send us your reaction throughout the night, 81333. On the text, 08000 321 333. Via WhatsApp, start your message with the letters that spell York. Halstead is still getting some treatment. Former Torquay man as well, he's played in various National League clubs. His last league game before he played for Radcliffe was in the 10th tier with Widnes, as I mentioned, and he's keeping Matthias Hult out the side. He's a former Everton youth goalkeeper, but can't get in the team at the minute after Halstead's arrival. Back underway as the enemy goalkeeper for him, Whitley, gives it a good thud up towards halfway, brought down now by Hume. And Hume will battle away with Wileggi, who gets the better, and it will be a throw-in over on the far side, which I think to some fans' surprise actually goes Scarborough's way, as Wileggi looks to find Rio Allen down the right wing, nods it back towards Wileggi, who hoists it up into the air with little direction. Maloney has instinctively gone looking for Alex Brown, and it's well won back by Dom Tier in midfield. Brown now looking to slide a ball down the line for Green, who's been hassled by Roscoe, goes down under pressure. Harry Green wants a free kick and he's not going to get it. Felt there that maybe if it had been a different referee, might have been inclined, maybe a stricter referee, but Kevin Hearn is a very lenient match official. Had a good game against Scarborough and Darlington. Halstead inside his own box for Radcliffe, sweeps it away, looks absolutely fine. I imagine there was some tactical tweaking when he went down, as Allen collects for Scarborough then into the final third, dribbles past two, he has got away from his markers. Allen from a tight angle shoots, it's on target, and Halstead simple dive to his right hand side and cushions the ball. 23 minutes played, and Halstead will be hoping that he gets a bit more protection from those in front of him, because Rio Allen stepping away from two defenders in one go. They went 2-0 up last year at this end of the ground where we are, as Allen is going to win the ball back after hassling McFadden. He looks to steam into the area, ball pops towards Walker, who concedes a free kick after Scales went over, and Walker feels that he had pushed Scales in the view of the referee. That looked a little soft from this position, as Smith orders McFadden where to kick this ball, but he's going to actually let Halstead now come and take it, as he shoos the defence away and just tries to get Radcliffe moving up the park. Halfway through the first half, if you're just joining us on BBC Radio York, it's Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 1, as Walker tries to protect the ball. He's looked very energetic and has been about the place in this first half as Radcliffe cannoned the ball out of play for a throw-in once again. I have to say Scarborough much the better of the two teams so far. Quick run through of what's happening elsewhere in the National League North. It is Bedford 0, Kidderminster 0. Kidderminster had the ball in the net early, but it was chalked off for offside. Marine 0, Chester 0 on Merseyside. Chester down to 10 men in the first half. Telford are leading 1-0 away at Merthyr. Meanwhile, Macclesfield lead 2-1 against Peterborough Sports. Scarborough leading here by 1-0, and Darlington are 1-0 up away at Worksop. So not many results going the way of the Sea Dogs, but as things stand, they'll be back in the playoff places side by side with Radcliffe. A long way to go, however, and plenty of games to be played as well. There'll be lots of chopping and changing, I would suspect, between now and the back end of April as a bit of head tennis ensues in the middle of the park. Maloney brings it down, plays to Tia, and then Weleji with a ball forward to Walker, trying to get around McFadden, out-muscled, and a throw-in in the final third. As McFadden orders those in blue and yellow to get down the touchline, and he throws it long up to halfway, flicked by Weleji. Perver takes command, plays to Rio Allen as well. Maloney then caught in front of the technical areas, and it will be a throw-in only for Radcliffe. And a lot of these challenges where a player maybe goes through the back and just shoves the player over, referee's not interested in giving them in the early stages. There's a long ball forward from Radcliffe. He's going to hang in the wind a bit, and it's forced Whitley to half volley the ball away. He just looked a little bit uncertain, had to just stutter to get a decent connection away as the ball runs out of play over on the far side. Colleagues at Radcliffe Radio alongside me, just complimenting both Thornton and Hull on their aerial ability. Haven't really had to get too much in the way of aerial duels, but for Radcliffe maybe they have to just think about playing the ball along the deck a little more in the attacking areas as the ball runs through to Whitley again, plays it down the line. Smith with the header though, and it's won back here by Scarborough in the Radcliffe half. Allen will play towards Maloney into Weleji, pokes the ball to Perver, who's in the heart of midfield, back towards Thornton near halfway, and left it goes towards Alex Brown. Neat, good flick from Green. This is liquid football from Scarborough as they play now to Tia into the area. He's got two to pick out. Walker is one of them, blocked, and then Green will try and work the ball around Rick Smith, but it will be cleared away by the home side. And Afuye, who's not looked menacing at all in the first half, delivers a cross. Hume tries to head it away. Ball's popped back there towards Cian Scales, and now it's with Hume with the shot, curling one, but wide of the target, and from here it never really looked like it was dropping anywhere near Ryan Whitley's goal, and behind it goes. So we've played 27 minutes here at the New Van Stadium, and it remains Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 1. Whitley taking his time to get the ball back underway. Halstead coming over, drying his gloves in front of us. Radcliffe fans pretty quiet at the moment. Whitley still to take his goal kick. Referee very lenient, allowing him to take a bit of time, but then maybe he saw Halstead was out of his goal. Allen, he's going to collect in the right wing position, but just runs out of play for a throw-in down on the final third. Radcliffe take it short and play it in towards Cian Scales. McFadden, he will give the ball a good boot as Radcliffe have tried to be a bit more direct this evening. Smith will play to Roscoe on the right side of a back three, now down the line towards Afuye. Infield now, looking that time for David Ball, barely mentioned his name in the first half, as Gardner swings the ball down the right channel, but you can see the wind and how much it's taking hold, and it's presenting a lot of curve if they want to play a through ball. Out of play for a throw in far side. Afuye taken quickly. Perva has covered the cross and it runs behind. It will be a corner kick. You can hear the Scarborough fans enjoying themselves so far. Radcliffe with their first corner of the night. They've got to be alert here, Scarborough, down at that far end of the ground. Thornton, Perva, they're marking up at the moment near the goal line as it is going to be delivered towards the front post. There is a flick and it lands on the roof of the net. That will go behind for a goal kick, and it will be a corner. I think it might have come off Thornton's head. Just looked to be a little bit of aggro down at that far end. There seemed to be a little bit of eye contact between red and blue. Jonathan Greening respects the Scarborough fans with a wave. Half an hour gone. Scarborough lead by 1-0. One arm up in the air though from Radcliffe. Down at the far end. It's got a bit of height and a bit of a decent looking delivery. Header comes in from Ball and that one drops behind for this time a goal kick. 1-0 then. We've played over half an hour. Would get the thoughts of either Neil Redfern or Darren Foreman. Neither of them available tonight, sadly. So we are flying solo. A reminder of some of the injury news. Theo Chapman set to be out for a while with a hamstring issue that he picked up in training. Luca Colville not too far away. Michael Duckworth, a groin issue. Fearing the worst really with him as well. So numbers looking just a little light at the moment for Scarborough with just the 15 on show this evening. McFadden taking a throw in for Radcliffe inside his own half. Moved in towards Scales, who moves it across to Roscoe. Appeals for a handball. He took a touch on the right foot, rode up into an arm that was parallel to the ground. Referee let it go as Hume gets the ball off Taylor. Moves into a left wing position. Two in front of him. The first of those is Hull. Played to the edge of the area, where on this occasion Glendon, who looks to have lost his hairband, will lose possession as well. Tia taking the ball into a left wing position. He was all alone in red, and that's well hoovered up by Radcliffe, but Tia not allowing Radcliffe out and manages to poke the ball out of play for a throw-in. Rick Smith the close option for this throw-in as Roscoe now looks down the line. Afuye dropping infield. Not really many options there from those in blue and yellow hoops as the ball is nodded out by them for a throw-in on halfway. Green has the ball on his... Green's got the ball in his hands. Currently, by the way, in our other commentary tonight on DAB, Harrogate 0, Fleetwood 0. 17 games without a win for Simon Weaver's men. Pete Wild being sacked by Fleetwood in the build-up to this game. Tia looking to collect, but Afuye manages to clear away, and then a long ball by Brown. It's going to hang in the wind. Walker is goal side of his man. He's hassling Smith inside the area, and Walker is judged to have pulled the shirt of the centre half, and the referee decides to give the free kick on this occasion. Not too sure about that one. And Smith moving the ball outside of the penalty area. Scarborough fans alongside me letting him know that he's up to mischief, as a long ball down the other end is just going to be gobbled up by Ryan Whitley. Confirmation's just come through on my phone of Scarborough going in front, and Walker netting his 10th league goal of the season. It's been a while for him after that injury and playing out in the wings, but has certainly looked a good focal point tonight as the ball goes out for a throw-in Radcliffe's way, as the game just loses a bit of tempo, a bit of rhythm. Neither team really looking after it at this moment. Still 0-0 between Bedford and Kidderminster. Marine 0, Chester 0. Telford still leading at Merthyr, as are Macclesfield at Peterborough Sports, and Darlington leading away at Worksop. Ball's out of play down the far end, and it's a goal kick. It was a long ball. Fouye wasn't happy about the decision. He felt that Brown got a touch. Confirmation tonight of the postponement. South Shields versus Fylde called off. Buxton away at Southport also falling victim to the weather. Curzon against Spennymoor also not being played tonight. Hereford versus Hoxford. Hereford after this weekend will have Saturday, Tuesday set up until mid-March. Macclesfield have gone 3-1 up now away at Peterborough Sports. Leamington versus Kings Lynn also off tonight, as well as Alfreton against Chorley. Things going well in the first half for Scarborough, leading by a 0-0. Perver, he collects, hasn't had to get too busy in the centre of midfield as Brown finds Green. He can turn in the centre circle. Ball finds Walker, drops it to Tia. Now here's a chance. Good tackle comes in from McFadden. Both trying to get back to their feet as they scramble it away. Green collects 20 yards from goal. He's been hassled now by Gardner, and that's a free kick. Gardner judged to wrestle Green a little too much. And a free kick then. 25 yards from goal, just to the left of the D, is where Maloney will try and hit this from. Doesn't need any more motivation from the fans alongside me, as Maloney in his yellow boots scored against Fylde and hit the target against Kidderminster. Scored as well against Spennymoor. He's got Rio Allen over the ball as well. Tier and Hull are just occupying that three-man wall that Radcliffe have built, which is almost brushing the white paint of the 18-yard line. Bit of conversation being had between Roscoe and Halstead. All the Scarborough fans have got their phones ready to capture the moment if Maloney fires this one into the back of the net. Referee blows his whistle. Allen runs by the ball and Maloney does hit it, but on target. Only though to be in the hands of Halstead. It took just the faintest of deflections on the way through, but another decent opportunity chalked up by Scarborough as Perver just catches his man Scales a little bit wrong. He was just the wrong side of him. You can see it's a free kick under no real pressure. 9 minutes to go of the first half then. Radcliffe 0, Scarborough 1 here on BBC Radio York FM and via BBC Sounds as well. If you need to head anywhere, picking anyone up from sports clubs, that kind of thing, or maybe you've been late night shopping, you can take us with you on BBC Sounds as Radcliffe get a free kick, probably 30 yards from goal. It's hard to tell from being at the opposite end of the ground. Brown just catching his man, a Fouye, who went down at speed, and it will be a chance for Radcliffe, who haven't put Whitley under full pressure as yet in the game. They're not sending too many forward either, Radcliffe. I'm just looking at how the back line is arranged, because Walker stays forward, Allen stays forward, and that means Radcliffe have to, through McFadden and Scales, keep those back. George Glendon stands alone in the centre circle. This is to the right of Whitley's goal, 30 yards away, crossing territory. Dan Gardner just gave one away down at this end of the ground. Is now going to try and whip one in. One arm up in the air, waiting for the movement. Thornton's got an armful of the shirt of his marker. Willegi's header isn't cleared. Hume tries to cross it back in. Perver then hacks it central, comes to Gardner. First touch is a decent one, then shoots, deflected, and that took most of the sting out of the shot. Whitley lets it hit his body, and that will be into the hands of the goalkeeper. 1-0, 38th minute of the match. If you're just joining us, Stephen Walker with his 10th goal of the season in the National League North, following on from Dom Tiers last year. It'll be interesting to see how many more Walker can maybe collect in that number 9 shirt. Bennett dropped from the team and on the bench this evening. I can see him really wrapped up with the bobble hat in his thick winter coat. It is a little bit chilly tonight. Double socks, thermal leggings, thermal top underneath as well. Bobble hat and snood. There's free kick for Scarborough in the centre circle. Maloney standing one up for Thornton to attack. Now it came off him mostly, but then it looks like it hit Rick Smith on the way out. And a corner then for Scarborough Athletic down at this end of the ground. Maloney is going to take the corner kick. I could see Weleji walking in. I could see Tier and Thornton having a word or two with one another, waiting to make some movement. Thornton is coming really close to try and create a nuisance aimed towards the front post. Weleji has collected. It's going to go towards Maloney. His first cross is blocked. He will whip it back in. Free header there for McFadzean. Weleji 6 yards out, and Allen scores! It was a hopeful shot from Weleji, and it's found the feet of Rio Allen. 2 of the 3 back in the side are on the score sheet tonight. And with 5 minutes to go before half-time, Scarborough Athletic double the lead in Greater Manchester. Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 2. You can hear what it means to the fans alongside me. They didn't clear their lines, Radcliffe. They had many opportunities, 2 or 3 times. Couple of blocks came in. Weleji with an effort which was driven low towards the front post. Then a deflection off the Radcliffe defender, diving in. And Rio Allen managing from little more than 2 yards, body in the right place. And what a evening so far for Scarborough Athletic. 2-0 to the good here. 5 minutes out before the break, and for Radcliffe, more goals are being shipped by them. 17 now in the last 6 games. Same scenario as last year to this point as well. 2-0 Scarborough Athletic lead, and it's the first time this season they've had a 2-0 lead away in the first half of a match in the National League North, as the ball is sent clear again by Halstead. Perver on halfway, trying to win the ball back. John Taylor. Ball played now towards Glendon. Neat turn from him, but then there's enough in red shirts 20 yards from goal for Scarborough to collect. Green now trying to dribble away and up to halfway. Was he caught there by Glendon? He feels he was. Afuye picks up the loose ball and play goes on. Green's had a couple of run-ins with the referee in terms of free kick decisions not going his way. As the ball is blasted into the stand, and both sides appear to be livid about something that happened over there. I think there was appeals for a free kick, and then the throw-in not going the way that Scarborough wanted it to. Play goes on. Radcliffe in the area, but then Thornton just prods the ball away from his box and out for a throw-in on the far side. Radcliffe have tried to up the tempo a little bit with Roscoe. Plays to Afuye in the right wing position. Green has done well in getting back. He lunges in at Afuye, then Brown does so as well. And the winger puts his arms apart whilst on the floor, appeals for a free kick. He's not going to get one. And now Green will look to play the ball long and down the line for Walker. Hugs the touchline a little too much, and that's out of play for a throw-in. Back towards McFadzean. McFadzean now bringing the ball into the centre of his half. 3 minutes to go before half-time. Might be a minute of added time after Halstead went down on 20 minutes when Radcliffe, to me, looked like they were trying to get some messages out. Green goes over inside the Radcliffe half, and probably one of the cheaper decisions that he's received tonight. He gets a free kick, but Green, you can tell he's athletic, you can tell he's agile tonight. All 3 really. Allen with a goal, maybe the quietest of the trio up front, in his long sleeves and gloves, but he won't mind. And Stephen Walker, just for the last 10 minutes, has been a little bit quieter. Great effort from him after 18 minutes. Maloney stands over the ball. Buxton went in 2-1 up at half-time on Saturday, and they scored late in the first half. As Maloney now stands up a ball looking for Hull, it's just over his head, and Roscoe is able to just delicately head the ball out towards Taylor. Taylor in the left-back position will concede a throw-in. Perver threw his fist to the air and celebrated it almost like a goal. And Scarborough here are really hassling Radcliffe after Radcliffe hassled them at Bridlington. But a magnificent first half showing, and a role reversal from Saturday as well when they were 2-0 down and not really in the game. Throwing down the line then, Taylor is going to try and clear the ball. It only picks out Wileji. It's into Walker, holding it up on the edge of the box on the left-hand side. Ball pops then towards Maloney. Wileji, Walker wanted to try and play the ball through, tried to ball roll it before he'd taken the touch, as Green and Walker try to flick it in a tight spot to the right wing. Ball pushed through towards Rio Allen, and the linesman has flagged for the free kick, and Allen wanted to play on because he felt there was an opening towards the penalty area. But they'll take the set-piece chance. Maloney will have to cross this in. He can't shoot from right out near the touchline. But Wileji, he's hungry. He'll claim the assist. Plenty back for Scarborough Athletic. Maloney out wide on the left side. It's delivered in. Wileji! 3 for Scarborough! He met it perfectly! And it's a perfect first half for Scarborough Athletic. It didn't need power, it just needed guidance. Radcliffe crumbling in the first half, and Scarborough Athletic lead by 3-0. Well, I just mentioned how Wileji wants to get forward and he wants to be involved in the attacking picture. But this has been an exemplary first half showing from Scarborough Athletic. Complete contrast to Kidderminster on Saturday. And we're probably having to look back in the history books to find out the last time when Scarborough were 3-0 away before half-time. I can tell you the last time they were 3-0 up in the first half was against Needham Market. That ended up at 5-0. They were 2-0 up at Farsley when they won 5-0. Seen the board go up just for a couple of minutes of stoppage time. But Jonathan Greening and his coaching staff could not have asked for anything better. As Maloney plays now towards Rio Allen. They won't want the half-time whistle to come, those in red shirts. Allen plays towards Wileji. Wileji trying to play through towards Stephen Walker. Wileji scored his 3rd goal in league games this season. Long way back for the home team. Halstead I can see in front of me, hands on hips as the ball is thrown in at the far end. They might get a chance here before the end of the half as they try and connect some passes, but Scarborough just looked first to everything in this first 45 minutes. Maloney will block an attempted through ball from Radcliffe. Be interesting to hear what the Radcliffe fans think of this when the players trudge off at half-time. They've got a throw in. Just to tell you, Fleetwood lead 1-0 against Harrogate in our DAB commentary. Half-time reports come from Tim Steer shortly, as Scarborough Athletic in Dreamland in Greater Manchester. They have reached the same number of goals as last year and done it in half the time. Stephen Walker in the 18th minute with a shot from 16 yards into the right-hand corner. Then a messy one which Rio Allen dispatched, and Kieran Wileji flicking on Maloney's delivery. I'm sure Allen won't be moaning that he wasn't allowed to play on now as the ball is up towards the penalty area of Scarborough. Radcliffe trying to find some space. Perver comes in with a gutsy tackle, played out towards Afuye. Over on the far side, he will curl one towards goal, but straight into the clutches of Ryan Whitley. The Scarborough fans who are alongside me in this first half, they are loving this away day. It's set off at 3 o'clock this afternoon apparently, as Whitley booms the ball down the middle into the 4th minute of stoppage time. Will there be a 4th for Scarborough before the interval. Referee's having one look at his watch. Imagine there'll be 4 minutes of added time. Didn't see the board go up, sadly. As Thornton gets in a bit of a wrestle on halfway with, by the looks of it, I think it's number 31, David Ball. And the referee calls a halt to the first half. And what a first half for Scarborough Athletic. Mark Halstead taking quite a lot of verbals from the Scarborough Athletic supporters, and maybe a Radcliffe fan as well, who just leaned over towards him and vented her 2 cents worth as the first half comes to a close. The opportunities haven't been peppering from Scarborough Athletic, but it's been an exemplary first half from them. An 18th minute goal from Stephen Walker as the ball was worked from right to left. He dispatched into the right hand corner. Then from the wide right hand side, Rio Allen tucking in from close range after Weleji had done all the hard work, shooting at the near post, saved and parried into Allen's reach. But Weleji was not going to be denied as he managed to get on to Lewis Maloney's free kick from out wide, flicked towards goal. It is a magnificent first half, and Anthony Johnson, the Radcliffe coach, is actually coming over here right in front of us to have a word with one or two of the Scarborough Athletic supporters, I can see. Now, Anthony Johnson right in the face of a Scarborough Athletic fan. They're giving him stick here. They're making fingers to suggest the scoreline. Anthony Johnson not happy at all. Michael Ingham is now coming over to step in, and he's actually been the peacemaker. He wants the Scarborough Athletic fans to leave him be. He will be an unhappy manager. He didn't need that kind of aggro from those Sea Dogs fans who are making their way to the other end, but you can tell why they're cock-a-hoop and a bit cocksure at half time, because they lead by 3-0. Radcliffe definitely not able really to get out of the blocks. They haven't really chalked up many decent chances. Hume had an early one, but apart from that, very little to write home about. And they've been the ones who've looked disconnected in the first half. Half-time report to come from Harrogate in a moment. But here in Greater Manchester, Scarborough will be disappointed that half-time has arrived, because the scoreline, I can tell you, is Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 3.
I descend in silence, covering the world in ice and snow. I freeze your roads, darken your skies, and summon the storm. I am stillness. I am wild. I am unstoppable. I am winter.
In North Yorkshire, there's a yellow weather warning.
Strong winds out there with heavy outbreaks of rain.
Power cuts in North Yorkshire.
Face a season prepared.
BBC Radio York.
Every game live and getting you closer to your club.
BBC Radio York Sport.
BBC Radio York Sport, Pete Spencer taking you through half-time. Second half commentary to come of Radcliffe against Scarborough Athletic in the National League North with James Fletcher. But what a half it's been for Jonathan Greening's men. 3-0 up on the road at Radcliffe. Goals from Stephen Walker, who give the Sea Dogs the lead in Manchester before Rio Allen and Kieran Weleji added 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes just before the break as well. Also half-time in North Yorkshire at the Exercise Stadium. We'll be along to Tim Steer in a moment. And I think they are almost ready to have a half-time report there at the Exercise Stadium. Indeed they are. Let's cross to the Exercise Stadium. Harrogate Town against Fleetwood Town. Half-time report from Tim Steer.
And the half-time score here is Harrogate Town 0, Fleetwood Town 1 in a half of football which has seen Harrogate play some decent football at times, playing with a lot of confidence in their passing, and they've had a couple of really good opportunities to take the lead, the best of those falling to George Thompson after a cross in from the left-hand side from Reece Smith, found Thompson on the edge of the 6-yard box with a downward header, saved well by the keeper to his left-hand side. He's also denied Bryn Morris on a half volley from outside the area as well. A good save from Jay Lynch there down to his left-hand side, but Fleetwood have offered plenty in attack going forward as well. Mark Helm has had one over the bar and a curling effort from the edge of the box wide of Henry Gray's left post, but then the goal for Fleetwood Town coming in the 3rd minute of injury time at the end of the first half. Such a poor time for Harrogate Town to concede a goal, of course. It was while they were temporarily down to 10 after Jack Evans had to go off after receiving a bit of treatment. It was a cross whipped in from the left-hand side by Josh Powell to the far post. Ched Evans got up there. It was hard to tell if he actually got a touch on the ball or not, but it ended up hitting the base of the post, rolling along the goal line and nestling into the back of the net. Evans had to have a bit of treatment afterwards because I think he collided with the post in the end, but it just sums up the luck of Harrogate Town at the moment. That cross after hitting the post could have gone anywhere, but of course it rolls into the back of the net, and it means, again, we go back to that stat that we've mentioned before, that for Harrogate Town now to get anything from this game, they've got to find a first goal at home in the league since October. But there were certainly signs that they could do that. They were switching the play over to the wings nicely, bringing the likes of Sutton and Smith into play. They've got to keep believing in themselves in that sense, that they can get something from this game tonight and end that long run without a goal here at the Exercise Stadium. We keep saying it every match, but it's a big 45 minutes to come for Harrogate Town. Half-time score is Harrogate Town 0, Fleetwood Town 1.
Thank you, Tim Steer at the Exercise Stadium. Not good news for Harrogate Town in that match. Not good news as well at Rodney Parade, because Newport County have equalised against Accrington Stanley. Newport County 1, Accrington Stanley 1 in League 2. Other half-time scores then in League 2 are as follows. Barnet 0, Tranmere Rovers 0. Bromley 1, Crewe Alexandra 0. Cambridge 0, Shrewsbury Town 0. Colchester United 0, Grimsby Town 1. MK Dons 1, Bristol Rovers 0. That would be a good result for Harrogate Town if that stayed as it was. Notts County 1, Swindon Town 1. Salford City 0, Chesterfield 0. Walsall 0, Crawley Town 0. In the National League, it's 1-1 between Rochdale and Southend United. So that result would be okay so far for York City. All the better, though, if Southend can get another goal in the second half in that one. And just rounding things up at the moment in the National League, obviously a lot of games falling by the wayside with the pitch conditions today. Bedford Town 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0 was a half-time score, goalless as things stand. Marine 0, Chester 0. Merthyr 0, AFC Telford United 2. Peterborough Sports 2, Macclesfield 3. And our featured game in Manchester, Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 3. One more game to tell you about in the National League North is at half-time. Worksop Town 0, Darlington 1. So now you're up to date with all of the games from League 2 and the National League, and also the National League North. Second half commentary to come of Radcliffe against Scarborough Athletic with James Fletcher on FM and also on BBC Sounds. Let's turn our attention to boxing for the moment. Big night of boxing to come on Saturday night with York heavyweight Leo Atang and Acomb cruiserweight Brad Casey both fighting on the same undercard at the Utilita Arena in Newcastle. Their coach and trainer at Legion's boxing gym is Ashley Martin. I caught up with Ash earlier and asked him about the outing for both Leo Atang and Brad Casey. Of course, both fighters having fought recently on the 20th of December. So how are preparations coming for this one?
Yeah, it's been seamless, to be fair. Both lads absolutely pumped up and ready for this.
And both fighters active again. They were only out, obviously, on the 20th of December. Are you pleased with how Leo and Brad kind of came through both of those respective fights, really?
Yeah, I mean, both of them came out unscathed. It was, two really good performances. Obviously, a unanimous win and not a first-round knockout. Yeah, both lads have bounced straight back into camp. No problems at all there. So it's it's just been a dream little back-to-back camp we've had now.
Has anything changed in the build-up for this one, or is it not necessarily? You don't always necessarily need to shake it up, but have you done anything differently this time around?
No, obviously it's been the shortest camp that we've done, but at the same time, they've both just carried out a camp to box on the exact same date as each other, just before Christmas. So we've just given them a few days rest and then straight back in for a little mini 4-week camp off the back of it. Kept the ball rolling. Neither of them knew opponents until last minute last week, really. So we've been able to just set a little game plan in, watch some tapes of what they're up against, and go from there.
Yeah, let's take them one at a time then. Let's look at Leo's opponent, the Belgian fighter Amin Bouchetta. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he's big, he's tough. He's been in with a lot of big names. He's gone. I think he went 7 or 8 rounds with Tony Yoka, who was a 2016 Olympian. Dave Allen's gone the distance with him. He's taken a lot. People like Matty Harris, They've all gone the distance with him. He's a tough guy. He knows what he's doing in there. Hopefully it'd be a good chance for Leo to get some rounds in there, but at the same time, if he gets the opportunity to do what he does, he's going to do it.
I was going to say, the only person that stopped him in the first round in his career so far has been Moses Atama, and that was quite an impressive first-round knockout as well. Do you look at that? And I know Leo's had obviously a lot of hype in his 3 fights and a lot of pressure that comes with the expectation to be knocking people out in the first round. How have you do you have to make him sort of stick to the game plan, or is it about letting him box and see what's out there for him to take advantage of?
Yeah, we always go out there with the intentions of like not rushing it, having a look. But Leo's got an eye for it, and when it's there, it's there. He won't force it. He won't try and create something that's not available to him. But every time he's gone out there with the same plan of have a look at them, just take your time. But every time he finds that golden punch quite early, and then just puts an end to it pretty soon after. So we're not chasing a first round stoppage, but if it's there, we're not going to drag it out any longer than it needs to be dragged out.
Yeah, Buchetta with his 26 professional fights as well. As I mentioned, just Moses Atama that's knocked him out in the first round. Having someone that is a bit more of a sort of attritional fighter that's done, 4 rounds, 6 rounds, and et cetera, is that the kind of next step that you need for Leo really to get, as you said, some rounds under his belt?
Yeah, this one was initially meant to be a 6-rounder, but I think just with it being last minute with the board and stuff, they wouldn't commission it to be anything more than 4 rounds. But that just is what it is. Preparations from a 4 to a 6-rounder don't differ too much. He was ready for 6 rounds, so tightening it into a 4-rounder doesn't make any difference really.
Is that sort of the next step, sort of looking beyond this fight? Is that the next step for Leo to match him with boxers that can potentially either go a bit deeper or giving him the option for 6-rounders? Yeah,
it's baby steps really, because he's so young. We're not in a rush to try and sort of like take over the world. Obviously, we wanted to be on a 6-rounder by now. His fight in Africa was meant to be his first 6-rounder. But it's kind of just been stalled on a little bit. So after this fight this weekend, should be onto the 6-rounders, and then probably have another maybe a year of that before we step up to the 8-rounders. But we'll take it as it comes. We don't want to rush him, but also we don't want to hold him back too much either.
And Brad's opponent, Lee Roberts, fighting from London. What do we know about him?
He's a bit of an all-action man, to be fair. He's watching him, we've kind of said his main form of defence is offence. So Brad's going to have to be really switched on when he's in there, because he could cop for a wild one if he switches off when he's throwing his own shots. But it'll make for a good fight. He's probably Brad's strongest and toughest opponent to date, which is exactly what we want really. Like I say, the right step up at the right time. Obviously, Brad's a little bit older than Leo, so I think it's a good little matchup for him. We're happy with the match that's been made, and I think he will probably see the best version of Brad in this fight, especially as an amateur. When the tougher the opponent, the better the Brad that we got. So yeah, I think this will be a very good show of Brad.
Yeah, Lee looks quite a sort of upright fighter, tends to sort of stand off and sort of throw them as well. Do you think that'll suit Brad?
Yeah, I mean, he's very strong, he's very tough. He's only been stopped the once, and even that was just a standing stoppage. He didn't quit, he didn't go down. He's never seen the canvas before. So it's a good one for Brad to sort of have someone who's going to be there and in front of him, but at the same time posing a bit of a danger, because, like I said, the best version of Brad is the one that's got a tougher opponent.
BBC Radio York Sport, that is Ash Martin talking to me about his 2 boxers, Leo Tang and Brad Casey, in action on Saturday. Myself and Andy Atkinson will be there at the Utilita Arena in Newcastle as well. We will bring you all the post-fight analysis of both of those bouts. Right here on BBC Radio York, it's time to split our frequencies once again. Harrogate Town against Fleetwood Town. Tim Steer and Paul Bolland with you on DAB Digital Radio. James Fletcher with you in Manchester for Scarborough Athletic away at Radcliffe. Time to split our frequencies once again here on BBC Radio York. It's Make Your Mind Up time.
Every game live and getting you closer to your club.
BBC Radio York Sport.
Well, thank you, Pete, and don't think Scarborough fans could have wanted or waited for that half-time to be over any quicker, really, because what a first 45 minutes it has been for Scarborough Athletic, leading here in Greater Manchester by 3-0, courtesy of Stephen Walker getting his 10th of the season, driving into the bottom right-hand corner from 16 yards. Then Rio Allen managing to get on the end of a little bit of a more scrambling moment and stops in my tracks, because I don't think I've ever seen this before. It has to be surely for an injury. If it isn't, it would be mind-blowing. Radcliffe have substituted their goalkeeper. Mark Halstead subbed off at half-time, and Matthias Hilt is into the fray. So is that an injury? It might be, but I would be amazed if it isn't, because that would be, I mean, I think it's only ever happened in like international games where you have friendlies and it's arranged substitutions and in pre-season, but there must be something wrong with Halstead for that change to have happened. Scarborough then lead by 3-0. We're back underway for the second half. The seated stand where I am looks a little bit quieter now, because the Scarborough fans have made their way down to the opposite end. Most of the Radcliffe fans joining me here in the home area, and the discussions around me at half-time were, when are they going to make their escape for the exit if it carries on the way. Radcliffe need a goal, and they need it very quickly to just stoke them into life. As Thornton, now he's let out a trailing leg on the byline, so Radcliffe were moving down the right. Both he and Hume tangled, and the referee has given a free kick for a decision that to me looked like it was inside the penalty area, and Kevin Hearn has marked it right on the corner of the 18-yard line. Thornton was off the pitch and he just caught the leg of his man, toppled into the penalty area, and that's the closest of decisions. Maloney, the one-man wall, Whitley down on his goal line as you would expect, whilst Weleji keeps an eye on Hume. Roscoe trying to run in around the back, so too is Smith. There's only 3 in the box, 2 waiting on the edges. Everyone else is back near halfway. So lots of movement to keep an eye on as Radcliffe deliver. Up goes Smith. Does come out towards Glendon, who has a shot which is blocked. Still not dealt with. Weleji takes charge after Brown had cannoned it against Perder, and Whitley wants to get Scarborough going on the counter. Up towards Rio Allen. Allen will hassle McFadzean. Cleared away. Radcliffe and their 5-man midfield overrun in the first half. 3 centre-halves against 3 strikers, and they couldn't win their individual battles, as Brown will intercept at left-back as Radcliffe were trying to build something promising. Up to Green, left-wing position, tries to flick it around his man and tries to get down to the corner flag. Slide tackle comes in, and that will be a throw-in. If Scarborough were to get a 4th goal, you would imagine that the second half would continue on in the same vein as the first, but they've got to be game smart now. All they care about at this stage is the victory, and 3-0 is a very healthy cushion as Brown has the ball in hand for the long throw that he's going to try and toss in. Looks for J. Cole. It's actually helped on by Afuye. Comes now to Perver, hits it on the volley, blocked. Back to Maloney, 35 yards from goal, towards Brown. Brown touches the ball past Afuye, goes on an inverted run, then is caught. Asks for the free kick. Nothing coming though from the referee. Dom Tier asks the question. Nothing coming at all there, and that will be just a goal kick for Radcliffe. And Hilt will clear the ball away, and just had it confirmed on Radcliffe's social media. The substitute is due to a knock. It would have been very cruel to take the goalkeeper off in the circumstances of being 3-0 down at half-time and not take off any of the outfielders, as Hilt will roll the ball to the edge of his penalty area. Thornton will chest the ball, plays towards Green, hassled by 2, plays it back to Brown, diagonal towards Rio Allen on halfway, plays to Weleji, neat and tidy in the right wing position. They've just found any player in a red shirt tonight, Scarborough. They've looked really fast and sorted in their shape and just been able to be connecting with one another in these short passing little triangles and decent movement as well. As Waleji from a throw-in finds Walker 40 yards from goal, gets bumped over but no free kick, as now Afuye is going to charge forwards. Afuye now looking to just prod one through, and Thornton will clear away. It's back with the winger Afuye. Back now to Gardner. Gardner plays to Cian Scales, tries to play it to Glendon. Glendon back at the club where his dad had such a connection with Radcliffe Borough for best part of 2 decades after playing for Chester. Afuye now, right mid, will play the ball in field to Cian Scales, the Scunthorpe United loanee. His parent club having a great time in the National League, having been promoted last year via the playoffs. And Tia down the left is managing to get away from Dan Gardner, but he can't get away then from Roscoe, who's also on station on the right side of the back three. They're closing down in the left wing position. You're listening to BBC Radio York. 81333 on the text, 08000 321 333 via WhatsApp. Start your messages with the word York and give us your reaction tonight to what could be a very famous away day as things stand for Scarborough Athletic in their quest to return to the playoffs. And Radcliffe are the ones currently up in the top 7, buckling under pressure. 18 goals conceded in 6 matches, an average of 3 a game. They are buckling defensively, and a long way back here as Brown, the left back, wins it and plays towards Jake Hull, watching Waleji and Alan Drake.
Georgie Spanswick at breakfast.
Who's cooking breakfast in the kitchen? Do you know who it is yet?
I do know who it is, and I've forgotten again.
Great!
Yeah.
It's brilliant having you working on the show. We've had a call from Simon. He says, is it Julie Andrews? Julie Andrews?
She's the lady from Sound of Music.
Well recognised. Yeah, Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, same person?
Victor Victoria. Yes. No. Literally.
I never put the two together. Put the two together.
No. I literally can't believe it.
Georgie Spanswick at breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio York.
I descend in silence, covering the world in ice and snow. I freeze your roads, darken your skies, and summon the storm. I am stillness. I am wild. I am unstoppable. I am winter.
In North Yorkshire was a yellow weather warning.
Strong winds out there with heavy outbreaks of rain.
Power cuts in North Yorkshire.
Face the season prepared.
BBC Radio York.
BBC Radio York, we can now reconnect you with the Newven Stadium. James Fletcher for Radcliffe against Scarborough Athletic.
Harry Green in possession. Thanks, Pete. Just a little glitch on the commentary box. Should have switched it on and off again at half-time, shouldn't I? But I can tell you where I was at, and that was going through the 11 of Scarborough Athletic. Whitley in goal. Waleji, Hull, Thornton and Brown are the back 4. Then it's Maloney, Perver and Tier in midfield. Green, Allen and Walker are up front. 3 changes from the defeat against Kidderminster Harriers. Walpole, Bennett, Gibson, Booth are on the bench. And an opportunity for Scarborough just to bring a bit of calm, because the offside flag has gone up against Radcliffe. And no goals that you may have missed in that brief moment, that minute where we dropped off air. Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 3. There's been many occurrences in recent years where Scarborough have been able to score 3 goals or more away from home, but very few times in the first half. And they haven't done it in the National League North era in the last 4 seasons. 4 goals is the most they've scored so far this season in any match in the league. Would many people have expected it to happen here tonight, given how Scarborough have been playing? But it would give them the way things are going, a massive 3 points to back up the win over Chester after going very close against Fylde and being outplayed against Kidderminster Harriers. Long throw in for Scarborough up the far end. 9 minutes into the second half here on Radio York. Brown will throw it in. He's going to try and meet Thornton just over his head. Back out to Brown, who's caught it very nicely. Hits it on the half volley, and he's hit the roof of the what's known as the fell end here at the Newven Stadium. Very old school looking classic terrace, small terrace built behind Matthias Hult's goal with a small roof as well, and the Scarborough fans are down there for the second half. They've added a small seated stand to the left of it for this season, as crowds were up to 1,000 last year and have been this year as well, as Weleji will head the ball back towards Ryan Whitley. It just drops into his path before he can just keep an eye on it inside the penalty area. So it is at the moment 3 goals to 0 in favour of Scarborough Athletic.
Out to Gardner, who's playing off this right hand side in this second half.
It will be Hume who picks the ball up because he's offside. And I have to say, Scarborough Athletic have tried to carry on in the same vein as they did in the end of the first 45 minutes. As Whitley just places the ball down. 3-0 the scoreline here on BBC Radio York. Just checking, I think somebody might have knocked my plug out during the first half. Colleagues alongside me by accident, which is maybe why I dropped off air there, because it turns out the commentary box is running on fumes. So we'll plug that back in, just to peek behind the curtain there. Hopefully we won't drop off air again. I'll keep an eye on it for you. I don't have a second pair of eyes either in the summarising chair tonight. Darren Foreman away in Cape Verde and Neil Redfern on other commentary duties this evening, as Thornton has come right across into the left back position to try and shepherd the ball away, and it will be a throw in for Radcliffe over on the far side. Radcliffe 0, Scarborough Athletic 3. Ball played over towards Taylor. I can hear Ryan Whitley barking his back four to get across and move, and Maloney has gloves lined Cian Scales to the left of the penalty area.
Right hand side, level with the penalty spot.
And Taylor will place this ball down. It was no question a free kick. Allen and Maloney are just making their way back into the penalty area for the two-man wall. Kevin Hearn is tonight's referee. You can hear all those in red shirts just communicating. Rio Allen and Walker, they're coming back here because Radcliffe have committed an extra man. There's a bit of pushing and shoving at the back post as Jake Hull is being summoned over, as well as Rick Smith, for the pushing and shoving at the back post. You can hear the referee from here just saying that them two need to sort it out. Rick Smith got a load of pelters in the first half as Hull keeps an eye on him and still at it, 6 yards out as we await the delivery, which is with pace and flicked over the crossbar by Roscoe. He met it well, reminiscent of Weleji in the first half, but he couldn't keep it down. And Whitley will just take his time here to take this goal kick. Let me bring you up to date with elsewhere in the National League North, just as the game just loses a touch of rhythm here at the Newvan Stadium. Scarborough fans won't mind that though, given the scoreline of 3-0. It's Bedford 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0 currently down in Bedfordshire. Marine 1, Chester 0 is the latest scoreline. That goal just going into the back of the net. More pressure, I wonder, for Callum McIntyre. Merthyr 0, Telford 3. And Alan Hadley with the first pair, and Telford scoring in the 55th minute. Merthyr also down to 10 men as well. Not a good night for the Welsh outfit. Peterborough Sports 2, Macclesfield 3 is the latest scoreline down in Cambridgeshire. Here it's Radcliffe 0, Scarborough 3, and Darlington lead 1-0 away at Worksop still. So an early table reading for you on the hour mark is that Merthyr will stay 7 points behind South Shields at the top. Kidderminster on 51. Darlington will go 5th on 45. Scarborough back in the playoffs as things stand, with Radcliffe being towed towards them on 43 apiece, but Macclesfield, Telford and Marine all still breathing down the necks of the Sea Dogs outside the playoff places. Chester would be 12th, 6 points adrift. And the increasing pressure on Callum McIntyre as Maloney here at the New Van Stadium tries to win the ball back and play a through ball all alone, but just for the first time here, game just getting a little bit edgy, and neither team really taking a clear and obvious dictatorship, as Radcliffe with Glendon under pressure but moves the ball right to Afuye now moving in field, twisting away from Brown. There's an opening here to shoot. He then tries one turn too many, and Pervert gets back to bail out the fullback as Scarborough want to come away on the counter. Walker will pressurise Rick Smith back towards Matthias Hilt. Cleared away now by Cian Scales. Scales in possession, the centre midfielder, running infield, back in the team. As Smith makes a move as well. 4 changes for Radcliffe coming into this game. And it will be Afuye looking to turn outside, but it's a heavy touch, and Green comes back to just get a piece of the ball. Brown keeps it in play on the touchline in front of Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley. As now we see Radcliffe on the move. They try and play it through Afuye, and Whitley clears it away rather than picking it up. Maloney loses out in midfield now, and Scales goes wide looking for Taylor. Taylor with 2 in red in front of him. He tries to cross in, doesn't find ball, and Perver is able to clear away. An hour gone. Scarborough leading 3-0 here at Radcliffe in a fixture which always has goals attached to it. Afuye at the corner flag right hand side. Green has dropped right back in as they both come to a standstill. The delivery blocked by Green, bounces once in the area, ball crowded out by 3. Thought at first he got away from Thornton, but Domtier wasn't letting him free. Ball will chase down the ball he's just lost. Brown clears as far as the technical area of Radcliffe, and it will be a throw-in. They, by the looks of things, will be making a couple of changes to their outfield in a moment, having had to change goalkeepers at half-time due to injury. Taylor will go back towards Callum McFadzine. Radcliffe are struggling to break down the Sea Dogs until a ball through towards Glendon. First touch was kind, the second one wasn't great, and then Hull manages to hassle Glendon to the right of the post away before they can get a shot in. Just overhearing Radcliffe radios referencing what they're thinking of the defensive display of Scarborough, and to paint the picture, Green and Allen both dropping in, almost creating a 6-man defence for Scarborough Athletic at times. Green has been very busy helping out Alex Brown, and vice versa going the other way. As some of the Radcliffe fans making their way past us to maybe get closer to the exit, as Allen receives a diagonal, tries to take the touch inside, but McFadden is there to block him out. Radcliffe have looked open in this game, and that 3-man defence has looked exposed, with Afuye and Taylor as the wing-backs not offering much protection. Taylor, though, on the ball, will try and get a blocking on Wileji. Hull will sweep the ball forward from inside his own penalty area. A loose pass from Radcliffe, and Maloney gathers. You get the sense if Scarborough were to go and get a fourth here, 5 and 6 might follow on very quickly. A free kick just inside the Radcliffe half. Peterborough Sports are back level in Cambridgeshire against Macclesfield, so it's 3-3 And 2 changes coming up for Radcliffe. And David Ball is going to make his way off, the former Manchester City youngster, who's been in New Zealand of recent times. His 320 Football League appearances have not helped him out tonight. Forgot to add that he was a former teammate of Jake Hull when they played at Rotherham United together back in the day. Also coming off is Dan Gardner in the midfield, and replacing him is the former Borough man Danny Greenfield, who scored that wonderful free kick in the reverse fixture. A freshening of the midfield as Maloney, from out wide, right on the touchline, just sees his free kick catch a bit too much of a breeze, and it runs out of play for a throw-in over on the far side. Jonathan Greening can make the changes when absolutely necessary. He might even be tempted to bring Gibson Booth on for a spell, who we haven't seen much of this season at all, only in cup football and a couple of sub-appearances. 2 loan spells out with Morpeth and Bridlington. There's Hume. He's got Hull in front of him. Through ball now by Radcliffe. Brown again back, ready to intercept. They've really done their homework on Afuye tonight, doubling up on him in comparison to when he ran amok in Bridlington. Perver diving in, trying to clear. Cross comes in, Welegi's header is sufficient to find Perver on the left of the area and cleared away. Throw in there for Radcliffe. Bit of optimism from the Radcliffe fans on the far side, because they feel the home side just getting a bit of momentum. 66 minutes gone. Radcliffe 0, Scarborough 3. Ball over the top, finds Dudley. He's just on the pitch as a substitute, replacing David Ball. Back to Afuye, 20 yards out right hand side. Low ball in. Thornton's got to be strong, as Hume has too heavy a touch and Thornton will clear away. Pretty simple from him on that occasion, as Scales now looks infield. Radcliffe move it to their left hand side with Taylor. Taylor's going to go back to McFadden at walking pace. Just looking at how the midfield is for Scarborough. Tia not interested in moving out at the moment. He's been getting back in and helping out wherever possible, but Radcliffe feel their joy is going to come down the right as Afuye is so heavily involved in this second half. But Brown and Green, they're there ready and waiting. Thornton also, as Glendon is trying to be a bit of a decoy through the middle. Hull manages to take the ball off Hume. Greenfield arriving, but Allen back and defending and clearing away once again. Radcliffe coming forward though, and they will get a shot away perhaps. Hull, oh, now then, he catches his man. It's Rick Smith who went forward. Hull slid in, took the man. Wasn't as malicious as Rick Smith is making it out, but Hull is going to get a yellow card for his troubles. A free kick then in 20 yards out. And the referee, I think, was going to give the yellow card anyway, but they met and had a little push and a shove, which was initiated by Smith, and the referee will give him a talking to. Will Thornton now taking charge of the 4-man wall that's being built. Danny Greenfield, the former Borough man. I can tell you Peterborough now lead 4-3 away at home to Macclesfield. What a result that would be for Phil Brown's side. Thornton asking Ryan Whitley if he's happy with the positioning. Welegi's in the middle of the wall with Allen to the right and Hull to the left. For there, Perver also back. Green keeping an eye on Scales on the edge of the area. Walker is also keeping an eye on Glendon, but Danny Greenfield has been ushered away, and Taylor right footed to take 20 yards left of the D, swings it towards the corner, and Whitley makes a good save. 2 hands, pushes it away, watched it all the time. Good save, corner kick. That one was nestling in the bottom left hand corner, but Whitley did his job, and that's the most he's been called upon tonight. Brown on the front post, Welegi at the back as the ball is delivered in and flicked. Oh, what a save from Ryan Whitley. right behind it, one-handed, right. It was destined to go in. Scarborough clear away from the corner, flicked by Smith, and Whitley prizes it away with one hand. We wait for a big save from Whitley, and two have come along in the space of a minute. What a stop that was from the goalkeeper. Afuye, right wing position. Radcliffe, despite being 3-0 down, are not giving up the fight here as Harry Green just blocks the ball out, and there's going to be a yellow card coming, and it is for Harry Green, and I'm not sure why. I think the referee maybe thinks that Harry Green kicked the ball away there, but I think he kicked a ball off a cone as well. I saw two balls flowing. So Green gets a yellow, and he wins a throw-in as well. So Green on a yellow, Jake Hull on a yellow as well. And Chester are now level away at Marine. Connor Woods has tucked in a penalty, as Ryan Whitley will take a goal kick.
Two saves in a matter of probably a month.
Whitley will clear this ball away. He's been very patient to get busy tonight. 20 minutes to go. I think for the first time tonight we're just starting to see possibly some activity on the bench of Scarborough. Jimmy Beadle and Michael Ingham having a word with Jonathan Greening as Radcliffe try and clear away. As Afuye, right wing, looking busy now. Brown is being twisted inside out. It's a good delivery as well. It bypasses Hume. Taylor collects in the area. Back to the edges with Scales. Over now towards Dudley. Stands up a decent delivery looking for Hume and headed away. Have to say Scarborough under the pump a bit now, despite having that 3-goal advantage. Afuye, he's trying to get the crossing angle. Plenty in front of him in red shirts. Hull with just a simple block as Perver tries to clear. Scales collects 25 yards from goal. Taylor, he will try and curve on towards goal. Blocked by Willeji. Volleyed sideways by Maloney. They don't care where it goes, but they are inviting a bit of pressure here at Scarborough Athletic. Maloney, Perver especially dropping very deep. Whether that's for the instructions to protect what they've got. Afuye is not once but twice dispossessed, and they win it back again with Greenfield. Scales will try from the edge of the area over the top of the crossbar and into the stand where we are here at the New Van Stadium. They are knocking on the door for one, but they're leaving it very late in the day here. There's 19 minutes to go plus the stoppage time, and Scarborough still have their 3-goal lead. Elsewhere, Harrogate Town 0, Fleetwood 1 at the moment. Ched Evans with a goal in first half stoppage time for our DAB listeners. Change coming up for Radcliffe. John Taylor will make his way on, and Tyler James will come on to replace him. And then also Rio Clegg has been brought on with 18 minutes to go, the top scorer. Attack-minded changes now. They've had two very attack-minded wide players, which maybe was one of the reasons why in the first 45 minutes, in wide areas especially, Green, Willeji, Allen were getting so much joy down the channels. And even though it was a 5-man midfield for Radcliffe, they were getting bypassed a lot as Afuye will try and play it to Brown, stands his ground and pushes the ball away on that far side touchline, 40 yards from Whitley's goal. Radcliffe turning possession over a lot now, and if it was 1-0 it'd be very, very concerning the way the game is going, but at the moment they have a 3-goal cushion. Afuye collects in the right wing position. Green back again, helping out Alex Brown as Afuye looks in field, gives it to Greenfield, 25 yards out, right of the D, moves it back towards Afuye, and he will look to dance away from Harry Green. It's to the edge of the area with Dudley. His touch takes him away from the box. Back out now to Roscoe, delivered in. Thornton gets a touch. Afuye, now he goes down under pressure. Domtier was there. The forward looked like he initiated the collision, however, and went looking for it. The Radcliffe fans were desperate for the referee to give it. but no penalty, and I think the right call. Boomed away though by Ryan Whitley. And still the Scarborough bench are unmoved as Hull heads the ball, and now Maloney collects into Walker, who we haven't seen in the second half. A rare forage forward now for Scarborough after the barrage. Green to Walker inside the area. He will win a corner, and this will take a bit of heat out of the occasion, which is what Scarborough need right now after a good 10 minutes of Radcliffe pressure. Maloney will walk over to take it. I can see from the far side Paddy Billington from This Is the Coast. He's actually commentating in between the two duckouts. He's got his commentary kit on the sponsor board over on the far side, as Maloney is still walking over to take this corner kick, which is from the right hand side. 3-0 Scarborough Athletic lead. Will this be a fourth? In it is delivered. Smith gets the head away from inside the 6-yard box, and Radcliffe now want to try and break the other way, and it's with Scales, who looks speedy, and it's a chance now for Clegg in the area, right hand side, delivers across, and Green is the one scampering back 6 yards out and gets something on the ball to push it away from the area. Back it comes again though for those in blue and yellow. A chance this time for Clegg, and a volley will head my way and actually hits the supporting beam next to me. Did you hear the fright in my voice? Over the bar it goes, and that will be a goal kick for Ryan Whitley. Kittens just walked in front of the commentary box after that, as Whitley will grab a drink of water, but there is going to be a change for Scarborough, and Jack Waldron is going to enter the game, and Dom Tier, the man who got a hat-trick this time last year, makes his way off. He's played a much different role tonight, and a chance to refresh the midfield with Jack Waldron, who of course can naturally go wide given he's a full-back and help out on either side. I've noticed Green has actually gone to the right wing and Allen on the left. If Scarborough are to hit on the break and go in search of a fourth, they haven't had many chances in this second half. Radcliffe with the pressure, leading by 3-0 Scarborough Athletic at the moment. Elsewhere still 0-0 between Bedford and Kidderminster. Marine 1, Chester 1 is the latest. Chester down to 10 men. Merthyr with 1 goal back at home against Telford. It's 3-1 there. Lee Lucas was sent off for Merthyr in the second half. Peterborough 4, Macclesfield 3. And Darlington still hold a 1-goal lead over Worksop, which is the next opposition for Scarborough. That will be available on Saturday via the BBC Sport website. Build up, as always, from 2 o'clock, with York City playing on FM and BBC Sounds, and Harrogate are on DAB. And a reminder as well, we're on air till 10 o'clock tonight, so get your messages to us if you've been listening at home. It's 81333 on the text and 08000 321 333 via WhatsApp. Start your messages with the word York, as Clegg tries to come forward for Radcliffe. A ball dinked into the penalty area. This is dangerous for Radcliffe, as Tyler James trying to find some room, but Perver sticking to him like glue 6 yards out, sweeps the ball away. Almost playing with 5 forwards now, Radcliffe, in search of anything. Afuyi tries to deliver in. It goes over Thornton's head, and Whitley, vocal, manages to let that ball run to him. 12 and a half to go. Scarborough Athletic feeling like the end is edging closer though for them in what would be a huge win. Statement-like in the first 45 minutes, but made hard work of it in the second, as Radcliffe have naturally thrown caution to the wind and gone all out with their open system. 18 goals conceded in 6 matches. It was Will Edgy now, right side of the area, delivers in, and it's 4 for Scarborough, and Stephen Walker was completely unmarked. That should be the end of it. It's a rare forage forward in the second half, but Walker has a brace, and Radcliffe's afternoon stroke evening is over. Walker takes the congratulations of his teammates. It was too easy. Will Edgy space on the right, low ball in, Walker on the volley, close range, and Scarborough lead by 4-0. I mean, that really is harsh on Radcliffe in their second half efforts, the amount they've come forward with Afuyi managing to try and hassle on the right-hand side, but this fourth goal going in has created a bit of an exodus from the Radcliffe supporters, a lot of them making their way past me behind the goal with 11 minutes of normal time to play, plus whatever stoppage time we have. But Radcliffe, who conceded 5 on the weekend, are 1 goal away once again from conceding that tally. Anthony Johnson stands pitch side with his jogging bottoms tucked into these football socks and boots. He will be very, very disappointed after a decent 20-minute, 25-minute spell from Radcliffe, but Scarborough now look home and hosed at 4-0. But into the area they forage Radcliffe with a Fouye. Dudley will now play the ball back towards Greenfield. Waldron keeping tabs on him in a little battle of the two little ducks, 22 apiece on their backs. Roscoe throws the ball down the line for Radcliffe. And now into the area, decent opportunity here for Radcliffe to take away Whitley's clean sheet, as Hume was trying to do it all himself, dancing in from the right side, and Pervert defiant, being that screening role of the midfielders, getting busier now. 10 minutes to go, and Scarborough lead by 4-0. What has been a fantastic night for the Sea Dogs. 3 last year, a Domte hat-trick, 4 this time. 5-2 winners a couple of seasons ago, and there was Coulson and Jarvis getting braces that evening. As Fouye now will try and deliver in. This is angled right underneath Whitley's goal and straight into the back of the net from Michael Fouye. Whitley is so annoyed because it's dropped in between the defensive lines. Nobody went up for it. It tucked under Ryan Whitley's body, and direct from a corner, Michael Fouye makes it Radcliffe 1, Scarborough Athletic 4. There was a lack of communication, and with 9 minutes to go, Radcliffe have found a goal through Michael Fouye in circumstances rather than unorthodox, but they have certainly looked like scoring in this second half. And that just adds yet another goal to the collection. 55 in total in 16 meetings between these two. Scarborough's biggest win over Radcliffe, 5-2. We're nearly there. They actually won 5-1 previously as well. Scarborough 9 wins in 15 between these two. And Scarborough, as they've demonstrated tonight, have never failed to score here at the New Van Stadium. As a change is coming up, Richie Bennett, nearly called him Ricardo Bennett then, don't know where I plugged that from, but Harry Green makes his way off, and a very good night from him in terms of his defensive contribution as well as attacking. And I can tell you as well, by the way, at the Environment Stadium, it is Harrogate Town 1, Fleetwood Town 1 in the late stages. And Aidan Marsh back at Harrogate with the goal as well. Cleared away by Radcliffe as Thornton heads the ball down. Surely Radcliffe can't have 2 5-1 defeats in succession at home. Well, it's on the cards here. 5 goals here tonight. Had a feeling there was going to be goals in this one, given how Radcliffe want to play with their open attacking style, and the pitch looked like it was going to be one that the Sea Dogs will be licking their lips at, as Michael Fouye will try and move the ball infield again. He has by far and away been the better player for Radcliffe in this second half. 7 minutes to go. Radcliffe trailing by 4-1 here against Scarborough Athletic, as Waldron collects into Walker, who has a pair tonight, taking his tally now up to 11, as Bennett controls the ball and plays to Thornton inside his own half, and he just hits it upfield and drops out over on the far side.
Depending on these remaining minutes going, might be just hold on. You'd probably envisage it to be that way, won't you?
Matthias Schultz, he will take a big kick after receiving a long throw in, and Hull then just returning it the other way. Bold from, I think, Scarborough Athletic tonight to go without Bennett, given he has had plenty of minutes and it would have made them look one-dimensional, but it hasn't mattered one jot. Lots of low, fiery crosses and through balls from both teams have tried to make the difference.
Days ago against Chester in a 1-0 win. at home.
From the 4 games that have just been played by Scarborough Athletic, the victory against Chester, Fylde, Kidderminster, and this win tonight against Radcliffe, an average then of 1.5 points from those games. I think that would have been something of a minimum amount that Jonathan Greening would have wanted to have taken, as Tyler James comes forward for Radcliffe down the right wing, back to McFadden to deliver. Whitley should have it, and he's tipped it away from his goal line. I think he was just slightly uncertain, as he just gauges where his goal line was. He had to acrobatically tip it away, and Brown batters it against Rio Clegg, and it will be a throw-in over on the far side. So 5 minutes to go. A reminder, we'll have an attempt at getting reaction from Jonathan Greening live on the programme this evening, depending on how quickly he does manage to get to us. But also we'll try and get reaction from Simon Weaver for Harrogate Town versus Fleetwood, which is currently 1-1 at the moment. The way things are going, we'll probably have 20 minutes of reaction following tonight's matches, barring anything out of the ordinary. We'll have a run through at the moment in the National League scores and give you a picture of what the National League North table looks like tonight. Free kick as Allen is caught. Jonathan Greening and his coaching staff are unhappy. They feel there should be a card coming here for one of the Radcliffe players, which was a Fouye. So I can tell you those scores now. Bedford 0, Kidderminster 0. They'll be disappointed they haven't followed up their victory against Scarborough down in Bedford the way things are going. There's still time for that to change. Marine 1, Chester 1, Merthyr 1, Telford 4 is the latest scoreline. Peterborough Sports 4, Macclesfield 3, Radcliffe 1, Scarborough 4, and Worksop have grabbed an equaliser against Darlington in the 82nd minute. So it's 1-1 there. Up at the other end, Bennett trying to get onto a loose ball as Radcliffe try and clear their lines. And Radcliffe, though, with one long punt forward now, get the ball up to Rio Clegg into the area on the right. Covering him is Waleji. He's run out of room, and it will be a corner kick. But you can tell now the tiredness kicking in, because the midfield just couldn't get up with play on that occasion. And Scarborough, even though they've got a 3-goal lead, 4 minutes of normal time, they want everyone back apart from Walker, because they don't want any last-minute drama in what would be extreme circumstances. Fouye will look to deliver. I mean, he scored from this exact position, whipping it in, swinger, left-footed. His arm goes up. Clegg waits on the goal line. There's plenty more now surrounding Whitley, as it will be delivered towards the back post. Again, it's hanging close to the goal, but Whitley this time has got his hands gobbled up on that ball. And it's going to remain at the moment Radcliffe 1, Scarborough 4. Didn't expect to be saying that scoreline tonight. What does it say about Scarborough this season in the National League North? Just as they looked like they were crumbling away with 3 wins in 17. A big statement win to say they're not going to give up this playoff fight by any stretch of the imagination. Still a long way to go in the league. 18 games to go, and still hanging on in there. And a demonstration tonight that they can score goals after a real barren spell, if you like. Scored 4 this evening, which equals their last 5 games. And then before that, a 4-0 win at Peterborough Sports. They'd actually scored 3 goals in the first half, Scarborough Athletic, which was more than their last 18 games combined in a first half. They'd only scored twice in the last 18 matches in the first half. But they were rampant in the first 45 minutes. Radcliffe have been rampant in the second half in terms of pressure. As Tyler James collects on the edge of the penalty area, it's now to Hume. Hume will carve out a cross. Brown underneath it. And Fouye will look to try and work the ball back, but cleared by Scarborough. As we are 90 seconds out before we see the stoppage time, as it will be
just over 1 minute left on the clock.
Not too much stoppage time.
Match up in terms of the points tally.
a message coming through to us here on BBC Radio York that I will read out in a moment. But Radcliffe trying to build another promising move with Clegg twisting, turning and dancing. Alex Perver plays to Alex Brown. Brown has lost possession on the edge of his own box. He cleared the ball and it will be Clegg hassling. Another corner for Radcliffe, and there'll be 4 minutes of added time. And Radcliffe want to add a second. Everyone back for Scarborough, barring Walker once again. Maloney hasn't been too busy in this second half. Fouye to try and deliver again, having scored from a corner. This is right underneath the goal line again, and it was met by McFadzean, but Whitley in the way. Thank you to Chris, who's got in touch with us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he said that he believes the last time Scarborough were 3-0 to the good in an away match was September 2020 at Stalybridge Celtic in the Northern Premier League. Goals from Nathan Cartman and a brace from Josh Barrett. What is it about the Northwest and in fact the Greater Manchester area where Scarborough seem to come alive in terms of their goal scoring gluttony? They like scoring here, like scoring before. They've put 4 past Bamber Bridge, which granted is Lancashire, close to Preston. Allen, great control on the edge of his own area, managing to completely hook in a diagonal ball from Radcliffe as 3.5 minutes to go. And as I mentioned, likely get some reaction live from Jonathan Greening tonight. Radcliffe are on the move. Has been a very important goal in North Yorkshire, which we'll come to in a minute, as Hume plays to Tyler James. James edge of the area on the left for Radcliffe. Low ball towards Dudley, gets the shot away, and that's flown over the roof and behind us into the trees. And Radcliffe now just bowing their heads for the first time. Referee being told, or telling Ryan Whitley where the ball is to get the game moving. I can tell you that Harrogate Town have conceded against Fleetwood a late goal, and confirmation of the scorer will come through in just a moment, but very late in the day. Harrogate 1, Fleetwood 2 is the latest scoreline there, and Harrogate, as things stand, are going to remain rooted to the bottom of the Football League. Scarborough Athletic, however, victorious tonight, barring a mini miracle in 2.5 minutes. 4-1 to the good. Stephen Walker in the 18th minute, 2 goals in the final 5 minutes of the first half. Rio Allen and Kieran Welledge, and then Walker in the 78th minute before a Fouye from a direct corner over Ryan Whitley and into the back of the net as a free kick goes the way of Radcliffe, and Will Thornton and Fouye square up in front of Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley's technical area. The referee brandishes a yellow card to Thornton, who just needs to come away from this. No jeopardy. Now Rick Smith getting involved with Alex Brown, who's trying to be peacemaker and plead his innocence. Linesman getting a mouthful as well, and Will Thornton and Fouye are still at it. And Rick Smith and Rio Clegg now 2v1, pushing and shoving taking place on the edge of the area, and the referee quite rightly just calming everything down here before Radcliffe will take the free kick, as Kevin Hearn will come over now, and still some verbals being had as the referee is now going to bring out Michael Fouye. And Rio Clegg still having a word or two with Kieran Welledge. I think the manner of the tackle in the first place on the far side, the architect of all this, is Thornton, who's now on a yellow, armband on. Hasn't had to get too muddy tonight with slide tackles, but Rick Smith, wearing 4, has conceded 4 tonight as a defender. As all the movement from Radcliffe as they try and make the scoreline respectable. Delivered in, chested. McFadzean tries to flick towards goal, and a Fouye will then half volley, but a tame effort which is cleared by Scarborough, and then a foul as Maloney catches Rio Clegg, or vice versa. It will be a free kick for Radcliffe, led by the pointing of the arm by Kevin Hearn. Richie Bennett asking Ryan Whitley where he needs to stand for this and what will be the final attack of the game, you would suspect, because we've played the 4 minutes of added on time. And Scarborough Athletic heading towards a magnificent 3 points here in the National League North. More defensive misery for Radcliffe, who know how to score but know how to concede as well, like a few of the other teams in the National League North. Free kick 30 yards out, right in the centre. Danny Greenfield takes it, blocked by Maloney. Welegi now wants to maybe get Scarborough on the break. They're not going to get time, but it doesn't matter. A magnificent win on the road then for Scarborough Athletic. They do like coming here, as history tells, and it's a game that always has goals, and both of those points came true here in Greater Manchester. It finishes Radcliffe 1, Scarborough Athletic 4. Stephen Walker playing up front for the first time at full chat since coming back from injury and made it count with a brace. He got the goal scoring started with a shot into the right hand corner after 18 minutes, and then Scarborough punished Radcliffe at the right time, right on the cusp of half time. In fact, 2 goals in 5 minutes. The first one coming from the right hand side, Kieran Welegi having a shot at the front post, parried into Allen's grasp, and he just stumbled the ball home, if you like, from a yard or two. Kieran Welegi would get his goal, however. A glancing header from a Lewis Maloney free kick, capping off an exemplary first half from Scarborough Athletic, who, as Chris said on social media, gave the Borough a 3-0 lead away for the first time in 6 years. Radcliffe, to their credit, very good, chasing the game in the second half. They were undone in the 78th minute from Walker's second goal when it felt very much harsh on them. But Michael Afouye, the best player in a blue and yellow hooped shirt, scoring direct from a corner, meaning a 5-goal match tonight. Radcliffe 1, Scarborough 4. The Sea Dogs players and coaching staff are making their way over to the Borough fans, who are down at the far end of the ground now in their bobble hats and scarves, that red punctuating through on the thick winter coats. It's been a really good night for the Sea Dogs after their 2-0 defeat to Kidderminster, where, let's be honest, they didn't really lay a glove on Harriers that night. But let me tell you, in the first half they showed exactly what they can be about in 2026, with the right personnel on the pitch and a decent flat surface to play on. They zip the ball about, and Radcliffe have been caught in a storm from the northeast coast, not from the skies of Chandra, but on the ground from Scarborough Athletic. It finishes Radcliffe 1, Scarborough Athletic 4.
Georgie Spanswick at breakfast.
Who's cooking breakfast in the kitchen? Do you know who it is yet?
I do know who it is, and I've forgotten again.
Great!
Yeah.
It's brilliant having you working on the show. We've had a call from Simon. He says, is it Julie Andrews? Julie Andrews?
She's the lady from Sound of Music.
Well recognised.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, same person?
Victor Victoria. Yes. No. Literally.
I never put the two together. Put the two together.
No. I literally can't believe it.
Georgie Spanswick at breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio York.
Getting you closer to your club and every game live.
BBC Radio York Sport.
BBC Radio York Sport, Pete Spencer here in the studio, taking you through full time. We'll do our best to get some reaction from both of our featured games today before we go off air at 10 o'clock. Becky Want joining us after 10 o'clock for your evening, but it's finished there in the northeast. Radcliffe 1, Scarborough Athletic 4, a brace for Stephen Walker, goals for Rio Allen and Kieran Welegi as well. 2 big saves in that second half from Ryan Whitley. Radcliffe getting a consolation goal late on, but not enough to unseat Scarborough Athletic this evening. What that means then for the table for Scarborough Athletic is that they go back up into the playoff places, now level on points with Radcliffe, both on 43 points, above AFC Telford, who obviously didn't play this evening, and also level on points as it happens with Darlington tonight as well, having played 1 game more there in the National League North. We'll be across to Harrogate Town to get a full-time report from Tim Steer very shortly indeed. Let's run you through the scores elsewhere this evening. Still playing in in League One at the moment. Blackpool 1, Stockport County 2. That's in the 99th minute of injury time at the moment. Bolton Wanderers 2, Burton Albion 1, as Cardiff City 4, Barnsley 0. Huddersfield Town 1, Luton Town 0. Lincoln City 3, Bradford City 0. Plymouth Argyle 1, Mansfield Town 1. Rotherham 2, Northampton Town 1. Stevenage 1, Peterborough United 0. Wycombe Wanderers 2, Wigan 0. Still playing at the moment between Doncaster Rovers and Leyton Orient, and Doncaster are 3-0 up in that one, and Reading 2, Exeter City 1. So full-time results in League 2. Newport County 1, Accrington Stanley 4. Barnet 0, Tranmere Rovers 0 is in the 95th minute as things stand. Bromley 2, Crewe Alexandra 2. Cambridge 1, Shrewsbury 0. Colchester 0, Grimsby 1. Still playing in that one, deep in injury time. MK Dons 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Notts County 2, Swindon Town 1. Salford City 0, Chesterfield 1. Walsall 0, Crawley 0. And our featured game on DAB Digital Radio, Harrogate Town 1, Fleetwood Town 2. We'll get a full-time report, as I mentioned, shortly from Tim Steer. Not the result that York City fans were hoping for tonight in the National League. Rochdale 2, Southend United 1. Rochdale getting that equaliser with a goal from Gilmore in the 90th minute. So Rochdale go top of the National League. York City, of course, with the opportunity to go back to the top of the National League with a win, if they can get one, over Solihull Moors on Saturday. That will be our commentary on FM and on BBC Sounds on Saturday. Let's round things up with the results as things stand in the National League North. Plenty of games that were postponed because of the inclement weather this evening in the National League North. Bedford Town 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0 is a full-time score. Marine 2, Chester 1. Merthyr 1, AFC Telford United 4. Peterborough Sports 4, Macclesfield 3. A 7-goal thriller there at Peterborough Sports. Radcliffe 1, Scarborough Athletic 4, as we have been discussing. Worksop Town 1, Darlington 1 as well. I believe we can now get a full-time report from Tim Steer. Let's go back to the Exercise Stadium and get that full-time report from Tim Steer at the Exercise Stadium for Harrogate Town against Fleetwood Town.
And it's another defeat, sadly, for Harrogate Town. Full-time score, Harrogate Town 1, Fleetwood Town 2, after Ched Evans had given the visitors the lead in the 3rd minute of added-on time at the end of the first half. Harrogate Town had to make a half-time substitution with Mark Oxley coming on for Henry Gray in goal. We can only assume it's an injury-related issue there. Of course, we'll check that out afterwards with the manager, Simon Weaver. But for the large part of that second half, Mark Oxley didn't really have anything to do. He was virtually watching most of the game, as neither side were really offering a huge amount at the start of the second half. But then Harrogate Town made a couple of changes, bringing on the likes of Aidan Marsh and Conor McElhinney and Lewis Cass, and they just started to ramp up the pressure a little bit, and they got their equaliser, their first goal in the league at home since October. There was a long kick forward from Oxley. Emil Aqua dummied it nicely, letting it bounce over his head, and Aidan Marsh was rapid onto it down the middle, took it to the left side of the box and finished it very nicely across the keeper into the bottom left hand corner for, as I say, that first goal at home in the league since October, and a first goal in Harrogate Town colours for Aidan Marsh. And then Harrogate Town were constantly putting the pressure on, balls into the box, long range efforts, but nothing to trouble Jay Lynch too much in the Fleetwood Town goal. And then the sucker punch again, this time in the 1st minute of added on time at the end of the second half. Cross from the left hand side from Caden Hughes, took a couple of deflections off Town players, and then Matty Virtue, who's in the left side of the box, just turned and hit it, took another deflection as it flew past Mark Oxley into the back of the net. And again, the air just got sucked out of the Exercise Stadium, as Harrogate Town fans thought just a couple of minutes earlier that they might even go on and win this game, that first elusive league win since September. But once again, it's another defeat for Harrogate Town, which leaves them bottom of the League 2 table. But with results elsewhere seemingly going their way, it still remains the same. Harrogate Town 3 points from safety. The next up is away to Crawley Town on Saturday. We keep saying it, but that is another must-win game for Harrogate Town. If they lose that one, then you fear that hope will well and truly evaporate. Full-time score, Harrogate Town 1, Fleetwood Town 2.
Tim Steer there. Tim, stay with us for the moment. We're hoping to get some reaction from Scarborough Athletic against Radcliffe shortly from the manager, Jonathan Greening, who's going to be joining us live. But I know Paul Bolland still alongside you. Paul, it seemed like there were positives to take out of tonight's game. Obviously, the goal for Aidan Marsh. And Tim, as you mentioned, opportunities for Harrogate to even win the game today. I know that everyone is desperately disappointed that it's another loss in the column, but were there at least positives to take out of this game tonight?
Yeah, there were, Pete. Yeah, it was 2 sucker punches, one right on the heart of half time, and then one at the end of the second half in injury time when it was Harrogate Town in the ascendancy. You know, after Aidan Marsh scores a brilliant goal, it was Harrogate Town attacking, and Fleetwood Town were against the ropes. They were hanging on, and if anyone's going to score a second, if you're in the stadium, you think it's going to be Harrogate Town, and then they have a rare attack, and there's a couple of ricochets and deflections, and somehow it's in the back of the net. And I couldn't believe what I was witnessing, and that's just how it's going, because there was a lot of good things in Harrogate Town's play. Yes, they didn't create lots of clear-cut chances, but they were trying, and they were getting the balls into good areas. There was deliveries into the box. I was delighted for Aidan Marsh. He was a real clinical finish, anticipated the bounce and the dummy from Aqua, and yeah, brilliant moment for him. And then Mark Oxley was a virtual passenger in the second half, having come on at half time. He's having to pick the ball out of the net. It's another defeat. So yes, they've got rid of not scored in 7. They got rid of that hoodoo, but then, you know, just when you think they're going to take a valuable point, results have gone their way. It's you're leaving the stadium feeling absolutely empty and deflated, is the way I'm feeling right now.
You can hear it in your voice as well, Paul. That's the thing as well. And Tim, what do you think Simon Weaver's going to have to say after that? What are some of the points that you think he's going to pull out of that? Because ultimately he has to get these group of players regrouped. They have to go again. Crawley now looks an even bigger game on Saturday to come.
This is the thing. It's decent performance overall, and as I say, it looked like Harrogate Town were going to go on and win this game, and we could see the Harrogate Town players at the end. The looks on their faces again, it's like, not again. How has this happened? You know, we played some decent stuff. We looked like we were going to go on and win it, and we've lost again. And it's this constant mental battle that Simon Weaver and the players have got to try and pick themselves up again. But when you've not won a league game since September, and you see matches like this keep happening to the squad, it's got to affect the squad so much. You know, I can remember all the way back to October when they had those 3 games where they took the lead in all of them and lost, and we thought that's a confidence, you know, that's going to knock their confidence a bit, and it's proved to be the case. And they just keep getting these mental battles chucked their way with these last minute, you know, goals that means they're losing matches. It's got to be so hard, and that's the big thing I think for me that Simon Weaver's got to do, is he's got to somehow pick the players up and convince them again that you did do some good stuff tonight. You know, you were putting Fleetwood on the back foot. You were looking like you can go and win the game. You've just got to keep believing that you can get that elusive win. But when it's been 18 games now since that win, it must be so hard to be able to convince the players that it is still there for them.
And Paul, it's all about keeping that concentration for the whole sort of 95 minutes, however long you end up playing in these games. It's about staying switched on right until the very end, not thinking that you've got the result, albeit in the 91st, 92nd minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to keep the back door shut, and like I say, it was Harrogate Town in the ascendancy after the equalising goal, and you're thinking if a second goal comes, it's going to be from Harrogate Town, and like I say, a rare entry into Town's half, and you've just got to clear your lines. You've got to be ruthless. You've got, you know, obviously Liam Gibson had left the pitch at that point, so you've got a young back four there, and they're learning the game. But yeah, football is ruthless, and you win and lose football matches in the penalty area, and Town are being severely punished at the minute. And yeah, did they deserve to lose the game tonight? No, they didn't. They deserved at least a point, but it hurts. But you have to defend. You have to just smash the ball out the stadium, clear your lines, you know, whatever it takes. But it just seems like everything's going against them, whether it be a ricochet, a deflection, and it's hard to take right now. But you know, these young defenders back there and the rest of the team, they've got to pick them. They've got to find a way, because they're hurting right now. But they're going to have to. There's 18 games left, I believe. But there were some good performances out there. I thought Bryn Morris in the middle of midfield was unbelievable. He didn't deserve to be on the losing team. I thought Heffernan at the back as well played a real assured performance. So there were positives, but yeah, ultimately it's another defeat, and they're going to have to go again on Saturday. Long trip down to London.
Thank you very much, Paul Bollum there and Tim Steer at the Exercise Stadium. We'll get some reaction from Simon Weaver when we can. That will be on our BBC Sounds website as well. I believe we can now get some reaction over in Manchester. Radcliffe won, Scarborough Athletic 4, a brace from Stephen Walker and goals from Kieran Waleji to boot as well. Let's get some post-match reaction. Jonathan Greening, the Scarborough Athletic manager, is live with James Fletcher.
Thanks, Pete. Yes, Jonathan Greening alongside me. I mean, you've just been telling me there you're absolutely full of cold, but at least that performance will put a smile on your face, won't it?
Yeah, I've had a cold for about 6 or 7 weeks now, so I can't shake it off. I think it's just been out in the cold all the time, but yeah, really delighted with the performance today. I thought we were outstanding. Every single person on the pitch, the 2 subs that came on, we'd say the 3 points. You went with Alan Green and Walker as your front three. We haven't seen that too much this season because of certain circumstances, but just did that front three selection show how fast and how brutal you can be when you're playing on a flat pitch like this? Yeah, I think so. I think, we wanted to put pressure on their back three because they played three at the back, and I thought they both were very good, to be honest with you. I think... all three of them pacey. We haven't been able to play them as much as we have wanted due to injuries to certain players at certain times, but tonight they showed the qualities. I thought all three were fantastic, and Wacker's first goal, I think it's probably one of the best goals I've seen live. Really? Yeah, I think so. Way? Just the way, he was direct. I think he chopped a couple of players up, chopped a third and then chopped a fourth and put it in the bottom corner. It was absolutely insane. It was certainly, from this position anyway, right behind the goal, the ferocity of the shot. Have to say, Kieran Waleji in particular, I mean, thank goodness for him getting that third goal, because I think he was a bit unfortunate for the second, but how crucial were those 2 goals right on the stroke of half-time? Yeah, massive for us, because it made us go in 3-0. And then, took a little bit of pressure off us, really, because we haven't obviously won for a while, and we just wanted to get over the line, and we asked for the players to be really good tonight, and sorry, show the qualities, and I thought they did that tonight. If I could magic some Strepsils, I would do, Jono. It's all right, don't worry. But from the last 4 games, you've been up against promotion rivals, playoff rivals, and you've taken 6 points from 4. Is that something you would have accepted if it had been offered to you 4 games ago? I'm really sorry. Yeah, absolutely. I think listen, the performances haven't been good enough recently. We asked for the players to play with a lot more intensity today, out of possession and in possession. I think the pitch has helped us tonight because it's a really good pitch. And I think overall it was a really pleasing performance, and back to what we are good at, really, and which is getting the ball down and play, getting it wide, getting the full-backs bombing on, retaining the ball better, a lot more energy, a lot more focus in our defending. Obviously disappointing to concede a goal to the corner that went straight in, but overall the performance was very good. Very, very good first half and very, very professional second half. I'll keep questions brief for your sake. Luca Colville not involved tonight. Was that just a bit of a setback from the weekend, given that he did a lot of running ahead of the game? Yeah, just a little bit sore still. Hopefully he should be training on Thursday, ready to go Saturday. So yeah, just being a bit cautious, really. And back at home against Wexford, just how crucial was the win tonight, given there's so many clubs breathing down your neck? Yeah, massive. We asked for a reaction to obviously last week where we didn't win a game, and we wanted to keep fighting to stay in the playoff positions, and I think the players have done that tonight. Showed the quality, showed that they want to be in the playoffs and keep fighting, game by game. Good medicine, Jono, for after 3 points and a cough is a pint, which is over in the clubhouse. I think you better go. Yeah, I'm going to go. Cheers. Awesome. Sorry about that. That's no problem. Jonathan Greening with us live on BBC Radio York.
with a bit of a cough.
Yes, thank you very much to Jonathan Greeny for coming along and speaking to us here on BBC Radio York as well. That's about as far as we go tonight on BBC Radio York Sport. What a night it was for Scarborough Athletic. What a night it was for Jonathan Greening and his men, and for Stephen Walker as well. It's BBC Radio York Sport. The Late Show with Becky Want is next here on BBC Radio York. And we will leave you here with the news that Scarborough Athletic are back in the playoff places. Defeat ultimately for Harrogate Town. But a good night for Jonathan Greening and his men.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Radio York.
and on your radio.
The sounds of North Yorkshire is
BBC Radio York.
At 10 o'clock with the BBC News, I'm Vicky Carter. Pubs and live music venues in England are to receive business rates relief following a government climb down. From April, they'll get a 15% discount with no increases for 2 years. But UK Hospitality says hotels and restaurants also face rising costs and wants the support extended. These pub owners welcome the move but said it failed to address other rising costs.
There are some pubs that are looking at sort of £70,000 extra a year.
On top of increased energy costs, increased food costs, bill costs, national insurance, wages.
I didn't expect to be asking my 17-year-old children in the middle of their A-levels to be actually doing shifts for me because I can't afford to actually pay the staff.
Storm Chandra has brought heavy rain and strong winds to parts of the UK, with 120 flood warnings in place. It's the third major storm to hit the UK this month. Dave Bond is a fisherman in Looe in Cornwall and says the storms has been making it hard to get out.
It's not good. I mean, at the end of the day, being a fisherman, you're reliant on the weather to get to sea. The trawlers have been managing to scrape the odd day, but then they are only day boats, whereas the netters, where you need 2 consecutive days to shoot your nets one day and haul the next, we've not got to see at all.
A former head teacher who admitted to making and distributing indecent AI-generated images of children has been given a suspended prison sentence. Dean Durich, who led St Robert of Newminster School in Washington in Sunderland, was caught by an undercover officer in November 2024. He was jailed for 8 months and suspended for 18, and he'll sign the sex offenders register. Today, people across the country and the world are remembering the 6 million Jewish people murdered in the Holocaust. It's also the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, where over 1 million men, women and children were murdered. Eva Clark was born on a coal wagon at a concentration camp. She's been sharing advice on BBC Radio Nottingham.
To respect everybody, regardless of race, creed, colour, religion, whatever. And we should all try to think of people as individuals, because I know we can't like every single individual, but we can respect every individual.
The parents of a baby who died after an avoidable delay in suspending a home birth said a hospital had played Russian roulette with babies' lives. Pippa Gillibrand died from a major brain injury 12 days after she was born at Warrington Hospital in Cheshire in 2024. Her parents, Victoria and Tom, opted for a home birth, which then didn't happen because of staffing pressures. Warrington and Halton Teaching Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust said it was truly sorry and had since strengthened its home birth services. And in the world of film, Leonardo DiCaprio's thriller One Battle After Another leads in nominations for this year's BAFTA Film Awards with 14